Hello everybody, this is Oro for the PCPL. This is week 7, my match versus Heeerdis. I'm going to start this out by prefacing that yes, obviously it has been quite a little bit since my last video for any of you who have been keeping track of that. There is a reason for it. I want to attribute it to something similar to burnout, even though I haven't really put my all into YouTube quite yet. Some of it comes from in the middle of recording, something goes wrong. For example, last week's match, we had to do a live Wi-Fi battle instead of the online competitions that we're used to doing because he incorrectly put in his sets. Another thing is you might notice that a few videos today have been uploaded. It might be, I think it's 2 or 3 that I'm going to have up all at once since it has been so long. We have gone through the main season and I want to post all of that for everybody to see. And also to make it easier, slightly easier on myself to keep up with it. I am still in college and I am going to be starting a newish job soon that's a little outside of my comfort zone, not something I'm used to doing or have done for a job before. So it's going to be a little weird for me to adjust to that. So I'm going to try and get all of it up all at once so that I can just focus on whenever I have another draft league or any playoff matches that I have. I want to make sure that I can get those up in a reasonable amount of time from the last video instead of 2 or 3 weeks since, so I can actually build myself a little bit of a schedule and get used to doing this more as a hobby. So now that we're finished with that, I'm going to move on to the team builder segment. I will show you the matchup here. It is against a Gouging Fire team that isn't Super Sun based. But honestly, to me, the biggest threat on this person's team is the Terrakion with Terra Flying and Rock. If they go Terra Rock, for example, a Choice Banded Stone Edge is both incredibly fast into my team, only getting outsped by 3 Mons, who do threaten it offensively, to be fair. Although not if it's Terra Rock, I guess. That Stone Edge is going to decimate absolutely everything. I think most of my team here, even though it has been a while since I've calculated them, is EV'd mainly to live 1 hit from Terrakion of any kind. And that's kind of what I'm hoping for. Everything on my team can kind of damage it or neuter it to a point where it's not as threatening anymore. If it's Scarfed, it just doesn't really feel like it does enough damage for me to be afraid of it as much. So hopefully we can deal with that. I guess other threats would be Gouging Fire obviously can snowball pretty hard. Zapdos is a nightmare sometimes. I think another threat would be kind of Corviknight, because I do have some mons that can hurt it, but a especially defensive Corviknight is going to be very annoying. In practice, I never really dealt with Milotic. So Milotic is also a very bulky Pokemon that can kind of put my team in a little bit of a issue. So that shouldn't be too bad. To move on to the sets, I believe here we have Choice Specs, Bellibolt, obviously. This Terra Blast with Terra type Dragon is to get the Gouging Fire. I believe it is an OHKO just straight up. If not, I know I calculated it so that it kills through Stealth Rocks. That sounds like something I would do. Everything else is just typical moves. Thunder kills basically everything. It 2-hit KOs the bulkiest of mons here, a Violet Magneton, I believe it 2-hit KOs. So it should OHKO after Electromorphosis. It was something like that. Volt Switch is good pivot. Parabolic Charge is good recovery. That's obviously going to be nice. We maximized its bulk defensively as much as we could, because we didn't have a lot of special attackers to be afraid of. Skeledirge, Thundurus, Milotic, Magneton, all things that Dragon has the ability to resist. So it shouldn't be too big of an issue in that regard. Rotom here is completely maxed out in bulk. I believe its speed is actually important for something, although I don't necessarily remember what. Discharge is just good paralysis. Overheat gets Corviknight, Fortress, Magneton, Brute Bonnet, hits everything relatively hard. Foul Play is mainly for gouging fire, I believe. After +1, I think we get close to 2-hit KOing it. And obviously, Rotom can't really hurt gouging fire much otherwise, so that's what Foul Play is for. I believe originally I had Nightshade, but in practice it just doesn't do enough damage, and there's not a reason to not to go Foul Play. It's not like I miss out on hitting anything with Nightshade over Foul Play, so we're just gonna go on with that. And then a Thunder Wave is just to neuter anything that's potentially problematic. In hindsight, I think I don't actually remember. I believe Thunder Wave goes through Burning Bulwark, and I actually don't remember, to be completely honest with you. So hopefully Thunder Wave can put in some work. I mean, Thunderous here is obviously going to be a pretty decent switch into it, but I also have, relatively okay switches into Thunderous as well. I think my problem with Thunderous specifically is that it doesn't really threaten most of my team offensively with its own coverage moves, own stab moves. So it needs to run coverage, which it just doesn't really have anything for Rotom. I think the only thing it has would be Rain Weather Ball, which just neuters Gouging Fire, Skeledirge, So I don't see necessarily them doing that. Hatterene here is Mystical Fire, Dazzling Gleam, Psychic, and Trick Room. Trick Room is basically something that I should click every single time that it comes out. Because more than likely I'm switching it into a fighting type move, into either Terrakion, Zapdos. It switches into Haxorus incredibly well. If I get a Trick Room up in front of any of those, it kind of just chunks something. Nothing is going to switch into this thing and not take some damage. Best thing would be Milotic, and then Milotic can't really threaten me in the first place. It would just get constantly hit by Psychics, risking special defense drops. I don't really see a universe where they come in and do incredibly well. I guess in hindsight, competitive on Milotic could be annoying if I do get those Psychic special defense drops, but also then it's just taking me out and I get to go something faster and hit it, and it's just not going to be the greatest for them. Again, maximizing its physical bulk to the most reasonable place. This is an offensive choice specs. Latias here with Draco Meteor for, just an incredibly powerful coverage move. Thunderbolt hits Corviknight, and Mist Ball for being able to chunk Skeledirge, Thunderous, and also lower their special defenses or special attack stats. So hopefully it can take more hits from those threats. I believe the special attack was invested specifically for something on their team. I would assume it would be killing Zapdos, Terrakion, and those types of Pokemon while they're still remaining as a fighting type. And Thunderbolt probably killing Corviknight. It was something like that. Moving on to Mamoswine, we do have the Chople Berry for Zapdos, Haxorus, Terrakion, Fortress, anything that really has a really powerful fighting type move that's going to be very valuable for. Smackdown lets me hit Corviknight really well. If I get that Smackdown off, he has to switch into something, and if he goes into Zapdos, then I just Ice Shard, and then it becomes kind of it's a losing match for me if I play incorrectly. But if I predict Zapdos on those switches, or if Zapdos tries to close combat Mamoswine, I live that with a Chople Berry, and then a second Ice Shard will more than likely take it out. Earthquake is just the most powerful coverage move it has. I didn't see a need for any specifically high powered ice type moves. I guess it would mainly be for Brute Bonnet. But if I see Brute Bonnet, then I don't really see a reason to stay in most of the time, because more than likely it's just going to either put something to sleep, it's going to close combat, try and kill me. I more than likely either go to Hatterene or Minior. And then finally we have a specially offensive Minior set here. We didn't need the most amount of coverage here, so we have Power Gem for all the normal stab moves that we have here. Meteor Beam is like the strongest move. It like super nukes Corviknight. And then Dazzling Gleam is the best move into Zapdos, Haxorus, Terrakion, and Brute Bonnet. It was something along that. And you'll see we are the most physically defensive Minior on this planet. I think it was actually to live a +1 Gouging Fire Stone Edge, super random, but if we can live that attack and Shell Smash up in front of it, there's very little that it can do. It has to switch, and something in the back will tank an incredible amount of damage from 2 attacks from this Minior set. Like, absolutely ruthless. So yeah, that's the team, and we'll move on to the battle right now. Hello and welcome everybody to the PCPL Week 7 match versus Heeerdis. We are gonna start searching real quickly. If you guys saw the team builder, you saw how offensively scary my opponent's team is. So Gouging Fire is pretty scary looking. I think the Zapdos and Terrakion also look like they probably just hit my team incredibly hard. Didn't expect Milotic. I played against Fortress a bunch. This looks like a really decent lead for Bellibolt, I think, because if he leads Gouging Fire, then I can just get a Terra Blast off. That would hurt it real bad. Everything else can't even really take a hit. I think versus Skeledirge, I probably just Volt Switch out. So I'm gonna try and just lead Bellibolt. I think it's probably my best move. If I see Terrakion, I have to Volt Switch out, because if he just Stone Edges, Terra Rock Stone Edge hurts so bad. It just hurts so bad. So let's try this. Zapdos. So obviously he U-turns. If he doesn't U-turn, he dies. If I Volt Switch out, he goes into just Gouging Fire, and I can probably just go into Hard Mamoswine. I do think I just Volt Switch here. I can't Parabolic Charge, because Gouging Fire takes no damage. Like, at all. According to my calc, versus a standard offensive Gouging Fire, my Parabolic Charge would do like 40%. So I'm just gonna Volt Switch. If he close combats, he dies. And Volt Switch gets me out if he doesn't attack. Terrakion. This Volt Switch does like 70%, 50%, so it's a very bulky Terrakion. I could predict him to be Scarf and just go into Latias right away. Similarly, I could go into Hatterene and I could get Trick Room. That doesn't mean much HP wise. I could just go Mamoswine because I don't die to an Earthquake. If he's Scarfed and my Latias doesn't take too much damage, Terrakion, Scarfed Terrakion, Rock, Terra Rock would do like 86%. It doesn't kill if it's Adamant though. I think I could just go Hatterene though, because I only have it mainly for Fortress, Brute Bonnet, and Corviknight. But Corviknight kind of dies to everything. Let's just try Hatterene, and I can Trick Room up on it, so it can't Swords Dance either. It would also force it out if it doesn't believe it's capable of killing me. It shouldn't be able to kill me even with like a Banded Iron Head, so I think I'm just going to Trick Room here. That means he can't set up with anything in the back. Or I could just Psychic. Psychic might be better so that Corviknight isn't going to be like really slow and be able to do anything like that. If I Psychic, then I can get Mystical Fires off. Let's just try Psychic. If he attacks, then Terrakion goes down. So my Psychic hypothetically should do like 50%. And at least this way I can get a nice start off later.
Be close combats. I mean, obviously he's not gonna. Terra Blast Rock because he didn't want to miss Stone Edge. This doesn't even do 50. That did so much damage. That thing's banded out of its mind, I think. That looked super banded. $305 to $77. That was a 228 roll. So it might not have been banded. It could have just been like hard stone or something. That's kind of wicked. Terra Blast Rock did so much damage. I think that was banded. I think it has to be. Zapdos. So obviously he has to Brave Bird here. And I think I can just go Rotom. Could also just go Bellibolt. So I could also just Psychic. I don't need this thing anymore, I don't think. Trick Room is really nice. So I could Trick Room. Let's try it. If he tries to like read me to go into Mamoswine or something, I think I live. That, okay. 96 damage, Zapdos. No, not that Zapdos. Other Zapdos. It doesn't necessarily need to be banded. I think I'm just gonna go Bellibolt again. Though I don't kind of want to. I can also just set up, to be honest. Do I just set up with Minior now? I'm gonna go into Bellibolt and I'm just gonna Volt Switch out. I do not think there's a reason why I shouldn't. He could Specs. If he Specs, he still dies. Like, there's not... It's not like he lives a non-Specs Volt Switch. It would just be annoying to lose my Specs, because then I do less damage to everything else. So let's just Volt Switch. The Fire. That's pretty especially bulky, I think. Mamoswine can come out in Earthquake, I'm pretty sure. I'm just gonna Stealth Rocks, because if he goes anything, like if he goes Milotic, then that's something I can kind of just go into Bellibolt for. He's probably not gonna want to stay in because it doesn't look like it's gonna be able to take this Earthquake very much at all, and he could just go Corviknight as well. So I'm just gonna Stealth Rocks. If he goes Corviknight, then I smack down into Earthquake. It's also Pressure instead of Mirror Armor. So that's kind of a weird thing to do, being that Hatterene exists. Could I don't think I bother. I think I just try and get Chip on this thing now. So if he Body Presses, then it's annoying. If he Iron Defenses, it's worse. So that's fine, I think. I Earthquake and then I Stealth Rocks, I think. Because if I Earthquake, he goes into Zapdos and gets Ice Shard and then he dies to another one. He goes Gouging Fire, he dies. This Corviknight takes like 70%. I'm just gonna double Ice Shard. I live any close combat, I think, even if it's banded. Yep. I obviously live a Brave Bird as well. So I'm just gonna Ice Shard. It's fine. He's playing that one like it's also scarfed or banded. I don't believe it's banded. Does that U-turn, how much did it do? Like 25%? It's possible that he's not banded. It just depends on the roll, which I didn't quite catch. It's obviously not like life orbed, so I believe it is literally just either scarfed or banded. If it's scarfed, that's a little annoying, because obviously Latias outspeeds his entire team. I live a Flare Blitz. I'm just gonna Earthquake on this thing. I really don't bother. I went to 268. That looks banded, actually. There was a roll of 96. Unless it's adamant, I guess. I just Earthquake on this thing. I don't bother. Because he shouldn't be able to kill me with anything. And I'm not going to get burnt from this either. All chip is good chip. This helps me come back in later with Mist Ball and kill. Just going to Earthquake again. I don't bother. He's kind of just sacrificing life at the moment. I believe I preserve it from this point though. And I could just go Bellibolt. I think I'm just gonna go Bellibolt. I don't want to take a body press because it'll get rid of my Chopple. And put me in range to where Gouging Fire will be able to hurt me pretty bad. Nothing can take this Volt Switch. Even Gouging Fire can't really take it. It takes like 40%. The fire. I think I go Rotom. Rotom is because he can't go into Gouging Fire. Just because he has the ability to Burning Bulwark, I'm going to Foul Play first, so that he doesn't predict the see the Thunder Wave. And obviously I can't get burned either because I am a Fire type. Any chip on this thing is very nice. It helps in case it's a Shuka Berry, so Mamoswine can deal with it. But I don't believe it is Shuka Berry. He's just gonna Dragon Dance. This thing does not kill even with Stone Edge at +1. So this Foul Play is gonna hurt it pretty bad. I'm just gonna Thunder Wave, so he cannot Dragon Dance again. Well, I mean, he can't anyways. Okay, there we go. Nothing wants to get paralyzed though. Oh, it goes through. I didn't know that actually. I'm just gonna Foul Play again. Foul Play is going to do a decent amount of damage there. Scale Shot is interesting. Don't know if I'm going to still be faster after Scale Shot boosts its speed. I more than likely won't be. So I'm not super positive what I should do here. I think maybe the best bet would honestly just to stay in and Foul Play again. I probably will not outspeed, but there's a chance he gets paralyzed, there's a chance he misses, and even if he does kill me, I can go into Mamoswine and get the Ice Shard off, so don't really see that much of a problem in just doing the Foul Play here. So... yeah, I mean, like, the worst case would be, like, I Foul Play into Zapdos on the Switch or something like that. Yeah, see, like, you know, getting paralyzed there is always potential to happen. There's a potential he misses. If he stays in and it does kill my Rotom, then I can kill it with an Ice Shard in the back. So there's not necessarily a big problem there. Even if he did switch into Zapdos, he would take the Foul Play, which would be decent enough damage, and then Mamoswine would be able to obviously come back in and pick it off with an Ice Shard. So yeah, Zapdos does come out here. I could go hard into a different Pokemon, or I could just, you know, T-Bolt and hope I pick up the KO. Obviously I will not. We're pretty certain that this is a Scarfed Zapdos, so I'm pretty confident in switching out into Mamoswine here and clicking Ice Shard. I don't really see a reason not to. I guess I could go into Minior, because Minior actually does live this CC, and that way I can get, like, a whole Shell Smash off. I guess that would be chip on Corviknight, actually, so I might do that. Yeah, let's try it. I think we'll try it. Because we should live the close combat, barring any sort of crit. Corviknight will not want to take no Power Herb, Meteor Beam of any kind, so don't really have to worry about that too much. The worst case would be, like... actually, Milotic might be able to live it pretty easily. But either way, boosting here isn't so bad. I think we can afford to do it. Let's see what he does. I mean, more than likely he'll just close combat. He probably expects this to kill, being Minior isn't the most bulky Pokemon. Please excuse all the Discord notifications in the back, by the way. I apparently forgot to mute those. And if I went to mute them right now, it would kind of mess up everything. I don't have the greatest setup at the moment. So yeah, obviously there I live a little over 50%, so I'll revert to my core form after this turn, get the Shell Smash boost off, so a Scarf Zapdos will no longer be able to outspeed me, and then I could either Dazzling Gleam or I could Power Gem here. I'm almost positive that Power Gem will kill from this range, so that would also hit Corviknight in the back. It would hit Milotic considerably harder, so I believe we just Power Gem here. This should take it off, I believe. After 2. Sorry, my bad. I was looking at the normal calc. Double. Yep. Pick it off in 2. If he goes Milotic, I just power or Meteor Beam. It should do over 50%. Hopefully land. I believe the animation plays... no, it would just be the second part that plays if it lands. I think it's alright if... okay, we hit the move though. I think it's alright if we don't miss, because we can go into Mamoswine and get 50% off with Earthquake as well. To be honest, I think I might just go into Latias instead of Mamoswine,
because I'm not confident that an Earthquake will kill, but I'm sure 2 Thunderbolts will. It is a Specs Latias, but maybe I'm overestimating its bulk. Don't really have the time to check the calc right now. So let's just try that. Thunderbolt should do, I would assume it would do like 45% to Milotic. Obviously I can't miss ball because competitive. So like roughly 45%, and he's gonna be able to recover stall it, isn't he? That's a little unfortunate. Plus leftovers. I guess what this lets happen is he's kind of fishing for crits, which isn't so favorable in his position. And if he does start to attack, I do just win. 2 Thunderbolts will always kill unless he's at max HP, which is going to be hard for him to get to without fishing for all the crits. In fact, I don't even know if he has enough PP in order to do that. Thunderbolt is doing a decent amount of damage that he might not be able to reliably get to that full HP, so we're just going to keep mashing Thunderbolt. It's not like we have a choice, we're choice spexed. We can also get the para, which is going to be a little annoying for him. Obviously that makes this a little riskier. Zapdos in the back might be able to kill me with a Brave Bird. I actually don't remember what my calc is here. But also this relies on him not being like, you know, Ice Beam. He recovered a lot there, actually. I thought he wouldn't recover nearly as much as he just did, even though, you know, 50% plus leftovers is going to be a decent amount. That looks like if you were to attack me right here, which he does with an Ice Beam, it looks like my Thunderbolt next turn won't actually kill, especially not after leftovers. So it's going to fish. He's fishing for another crit slash para miss. He doesn't want to get hit by either of those right now because that would be a little detrimental for him. Okay, and he's going to take out Latias, I believe, with Ice Beam. Oh, not close, not close. 73. So Ice Beam here, or Thunderbolt here, is definitely going to pick off Milotic. Next turn, after I kill this, really doesn't matter too much. I could either go into Mamoswine and get another kill on the board for it with Ice Shard, or Bellibolt should be able to live it. And I actually haven't gotten to show off the Terra type in animation yet, quite yet. So we're actually going to do that right now, and we're going to see him Terrasilize, I think. But I don't know. Maybe there's a chance that I do go down to a crit, and that kind of messes with differential. Obviously, we just Thunderbolt here first, and then we get hit by, I'm assuming, what is a close combat. Yep, that definitely picks off Latias. So here's the thing. Mamoswine is a perfect switch into this with Ice Shard. It always picks it off. But I should show off the Terra Dragon Bellibolt with Terra Blast Dragon. Like, there's no reason I shouldn't do that, because I think even a crit might not kill because he's scarfed. So I think we do just do that. It would be more fun. Yeah, let's just try it. Worst case is we get crit and differential messes it up, but I'm already pretty far in the lead from my last few wins, so I don't see necessarily a problem with this. After a close combat, Terra Blast will definitely kill. And that way I can show off the Terra Dragon as well. So we're doing a Terra Blast here, and I think that is the end of the game here. A little bad manners, a little BM, I suppose, but it doesn't really matter. I just wanted to show off the Terra Dragon on Bellibolt, because I mean, most of the time it's what, Terra Fairy? That's the more standard Terra type for Bellibolt, but Terra Dragon's just so interesting and fun to really look at. So I really like this idea. Yeah, that looks like even a crit wouldn't have killed. He would have needed to be banded and got a crit, I think, or a Life Orb. But we obviously know he was Choice Scarf for outspeeding Latias in that last turn. So yeah, that's a good game to Heeerdis. Overall, I mean, I obviously could have played the endgame cleaner. I think in hindsight, Mamoswine did do more than 50% to Milotic, and then obviously I could pick off the Zapdos with an Ice Shard. So it was a little longer, arguably a closer game than it really needed to be with all that Thunderbolt recovery shenanigans. So, I mean, what can you do? Doesn't really matter all in that long run, but that's the end of the battle, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye.